You've heard of the Big Three in anime, but in 2026, the Big Three in trading card games comprises of Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, and Magic the Gathering. And today, we're going to try to marry these two games together. Welcome to our 5-minute Magic the Gathering Nico Robin deck breakdown. Nico Robin is a devil child, main archaeologist of the Straw Hat crew, and possessor of the Hana Hana no Mi. This devil fruit allows her to put her body parts on any object, using these parts to choke, restrict, and stomp her enemies. The creativity of this ability is infinite, and Robin went from techniques summoning 10 arms in part 1 to summoning thousands of arms following the time skip. After the time skip, Robin also gained the ability to summon an entire giant stand of herself, utilizing this colossus along with newly learned Fishman karate to pulverize. Now, to translate Robin to Magic the Gathering, we're going to need a commander that can summon and multiply vestiges, combine these vestiges to aid us in combat, and form one giant boss monster to end the game. It was really difficult for me to find the card types that would suit her in this game, as hands isn't a creature type, and searching for art of hands or arms just gives me a lot of random unrelated fluff. Pondering over it a bit more, Robin's abilities all reference flowers, with most of her early arc abilities being named Number and Fleur, where fleur is the French word for flower. So with that insight, I decided to change course. Instead of human-based archetypes, I wanted to find a commander that could reference the mutating, sprouting nature of Robin's kit. Essex Fractal Bloom is a 6-mana Simic Fractal with flying. The first time we would create one or more tokens during each of our turns, I can instead choose a creature other than Essex and create that many tokens of that creature. Literally a flower whose ability creates multiple tokens that can transform into other creatures. If there's a better commander out there for Robin, please let me know in the comments down below. Even though Essex is a fractal, we're not going to have many fractals in our deck. These creatures rely on sorceries, and I feel for a Robin deck, we need more board presence, going wide instead of tall. And nothing goes wider than fungi. These creatures are plant-based and work by summoning smaller minions called saprolings. It's not a one-to-one comparison, but let's imagine that these saprolings are the many bodily appendages that Robin can conjure using her Hana Hana no Mi. Our plan for this deck is to multiply our saproling tokens and use these tokens for offense, defense, and card value. So let's start with describing our defense first, as this is a late-game swinging engine. Our first order of business is getting out any sort of fungus typo card on the field. Pretty much all of our fungus cards come with this typo ability, where we can add a spore counter on each of our upkeeps, and spend 3 counters to summon a saproling token. Since this deck is blue-green, we have access to easy ways to proliferate spore counters. Cards such as Innkeeper's Talent, Contentious Plan, or Tezzard's Gambit can give us card draw along with multiplying tokens. But if we wait several turns for the spore counters to propagate, there's easy ways to outright get saprolings for free. One of the cheapest ways would be through Fungal Plots, a 2-mana enchantment that can exile creatures from our graveyard in exchange for tokens. But why exactly are we trying to summon these 1/1 green mushrooms? This is where Robin comes in. Each time we summon a saproling for cheap, we can transform that token into a valuable creature to make our engine explode. Transforming into another spore mound can increase our growth exponentially. Turning into Tendershoot Dryad could propagate more tokens while also increasing the power and toughness of each new saproling created. Multiple variants of any of the creature cards in our deck will ramp us further ahead, but the funniest copy target, and one that really harkens to the Fleur set of abilities, would have to be Mindbender Spores. This is an ancient wall fungus with flying, where when it blocks a creature, we can put 4 fungus counters on that creature and prevent it from untapping until all of the counters have expired each turn. With multiple copies of these flying fungal walls, it's almost as if we're LARPing that one scene where Robin binds and restricts the Marines in one go. Bringing out a Pharaoh Young Yu and tapping it, we can constrict our opponent's creatures forever. So after the first few setup turns, we get to a point where I have Robin on the field, and enough mana to cast Web of Life and Destiny. This is going to let us look at the top 5 cards of our library, and put a creature card amongst them onto the battlefield. After entering combat, we find what we're looking for, Spore Mound, and place it onto the field for later. My opponent is running a Kasla the Broken Halo Convoke deck, and he plays Path of the Ghost Hunter on his turn. This lets him generate 4 spirits that he can tap to play his Convoke effects later. My other opponent is running all Planeswalkers, and he plays Gideon the Oathsworn, along with Chandra dealing damage and Elspeth existing as a portable Wrath of God. Gideon is a solid wall that will stop our attacks. Back to me. I play Pharaoh Young Wu. This card creates saprolings equal to counters target player controls, so I choose the Planeswalker player and generate 2 tokens. This immediately triggers Robin's ability, which allows me to transform the tokens into more copies of Spore Mound. On my opponent's turn, one of them buffs the spirits with Venerated Loxodon, while the other pops Chandra's ultimate for an emblem that deals 5 damage whenever they cast a spell. On my turn, I consume 3 saprolings to summon Bloodsport Thrynax. This card can add counters to any other creature played equal to the number of counters it currently has. By eating the Saprolings and tapping Ferrophore to double them, I'm able to bring out creatures with 6/6 counters for the remainder of the game, doubling infinitely until the end of the match. So, do you think this deck captured the essence of Robin? Are there any other cards you think could be better suited to make this deck work more effectively? Let me know. Also, thank you for watching this video. What should the next anime deck be that I cover? Let me know in the comments. Stay tuned, more to come.